Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Fauzan. Welcome back to our second live healthy cooking show with Primera Red Rice by Chef Ryan. Alright, so in conjunction with Colored Rice Month 2021, a virtual event lasting for about 1 month from 28 November until 11 December 2021. And there are live activities on every Saturday and Sunday within the month. So don't forget to visit our event website for more details. So you can also scan our QR code or use the shortened link at the bottom of the screen to visit our event website. So good morning, Chef. How are you?
Good morning. I feel great, and I'm ready to share some great recipes, localized recipe with red rice with everyone.
Yes, great. So before I ask you about what are you going to teach us to cook today, so actually after hosting the opening ceremony for the Colored Rice Month 2021, and I heard so much about Primera Red Rice benefits, and everyone are interested what they can do with the rice after you make a great pasta last week.
Thank you.
And so what are you going to teach us today, Chef?
Okay, so today I will teach you to make 3 really simple Malaysian family recipes. The first one is the lontong. Or nasi himpit represent the Malay community, because today we are actually doing something that is multi-racial. The second one is the Huat Kueh for the Chinese community, and lastly Idli for Indian community. I will explain to you guys the recipe and the steps during our cooking process.
Okay, so Chef, I dengar pun dah salivating already. So there are a lot of us can learn today with this cooking show. So I can't wait to start.
The first recipe that I will be showing is the red rice lontong. So we, instead of cooking it in a plastic wrap, we actually create a banana leaf case. Okay. So lontong is actually a Malay dish that typically served during Ramadan. Raya, right?
During sahur also.
And during sahur, and it is a very popular dish, commonly found in the Southeast Asia region, especially the Nusantara, like Indonesia, Singapore, Brunei, as well as Malaysia.
Yes.
So it's actually rice is cooked inside banana leaf and boiled for hours, and then cut into small cakes as a staple food to replace steamed rice. And the textures is somewhat similar to rice ketupat nasi beras, with the difference being that ketupat container is made from either young coconut leaf or daun palas, while lontong use banana leaf. And for this recipe, we call it the red rice lontong.
Oh wow, red lontong, So this is my first time that I see people make lontong using red rice. So I can't wait to see until this process is finished. So my mouth is already salivating, Chef.
You must be really hungry,
yes,
right?
Very hungry. Alright, so Chef going to tell us something about the taste we are going to expect. So is it same the lontong made from the white rice or different?
The textures is somewhat similar. Of course, it's still rice, but because of the red rice we use, it will have a stronger nutty flavor.
Yes.
It's more aroma, and because it is cooked in banana leaf, and hence it has that natural fragrance.
From the banana. Yes.
Alright, let's start doing it.
Alright, cool. I can wait.
So for this lontong, it's actually pretty simple. Because the rice needs to be soaked for hours, so I basically have about 150 grams of Primera red rice with 50 grams of glutinous rice. And you may ask why glutinous rice, right? But the reason is because Primera rice has such a low starch in it that chances of it to bind together, it is very it's not easy for it to bind together due to its low starch. So we add a little bit of glutinous rice to create more textures to it. But I'm only using 50 grams.
For about more sticky for the rice, right?
Yeah, so that it sticks well. So now I have made cases of banana leaf like that. So what I'm going to do is I want to show you that even though assuming that we're going to wrap like that, but we're not going to fill it all the way up because the rice will expand.
We're expanding.
Yeah, so we actually want the rice to expand it. I mean, almost
Half?
200%.
200%.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I just want to take the mixture of the rice. In fact, I have already soaked this for 2 hours.
2 hours.
Then I rinse it clean.
Okay.
Alright. So you just put this into the case.
Inside this banana leaf case.
But you don't want to fill it all the way up.
Okay.
Just 3/4.
Okay, 3/4, right?
So we want to have some space, some room for it to expand. So how you do it? You fold one to the back and the other one like that. And you can actually feel that there's still some room here, right?
Yeah.
So after you're done, you put this into the water and we want to boil it.
Okay. So this is the process. I think it's quite it's pretty hard to.
Okay, so Fauzan,
Yes.
I would say lontong or nasi himpit is a very traditional food. It's very healthy and it's also sustainable because we don't use plastic wrap. We use banana leaf.
We use banana leaf or bamboo usually.
That is for lemang.
Yeah, this is for lemang. Sorry, guys.
No, it's one of the traditional.
But this steam ingredients, right?
So and we don't use coconut cream for this.
Okay.
So what I want to do is I want to boil this in a
It's very healthy, eh?
in a Kenwood mixer, a mixer that can cook and whip at the same time.
Okay.
So for those who don't have a mixer, you can cook it over the stove.
Okay.
But it's just that in this mixer, I can time
How many?
2 hours.
Or 2 hours. So, alright, chef. I love to eat curry, masak lemak, gulai. You know, do you think okay for me to eat together with lontong and this red rice?
Yes, in fact, as you see, after boiling for 2 hours, the lontong has already expanded and you can see quite solid parts.
Okay.
But it's actually not ready to be consumed yet because the rice is still very soft.
Very
So
soft.
we need to actually keep it in the chiller overnight.
Oh, okay.
I love my lontong cold, but the next day if you really want to eat it, you can heat it up in the microwave as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you think this is suitable for? Apart from eating for lunch,
Usually,
what is the cultural significance for Malay people?
usually have this lontong for sahur because it's not too heavy
And it has
to
a lot
eat
of
with,
fiber.
and also for raya. And because you change it, we use red rice. After I think like this very new items.
And it's healthy.
Yeah, it's very healthy.
And it's a lot of fiber.
Yes.
Gives you more feeling full, the feeling of fullness longer.
Yes. Oh yes, chef. So I'm so happy even to hear about that because tahun depan I can change from white rice to red rice and then I can, you know, make it lontong and other dishes.
Lemang,
Yes.
ketupat,
What else?
anything that uses rice.
Uses rice,
you
alright.
can replace red rice. Yeah.
Okay.
This has been chilled overnight for 4 hours. Are you ready to see what's inside?
Yep.
The first ever red rice lontong. As you see earlier on,
This is our new experience rice.
yeah.
Okay.
As you see earlier on, I only feel like 3/4 can, and you see now it's expanded.
Okay. This should be. Wow, look at that. Alright, chef. So usually we eat lontong with what kind of gravy?
You can serve it with curry,
Curry,
gulai or anything,
gulai.
but today we are just gonna serve it with a simple kuah lodeh.
Kuah lodeh.
In Malaysian terms is masak lemak.
Masak lemak, yes.
But inside we have tempeh and vegetables and things like that. So what I'm gonna do is I just want to cut this.
Okay. Wow. Look at that stickiness.
Now you cannot expect this to be fully like a cake, a rice cake, because Primera rice, again as we mentioned earlier, it still has very little starch compared to other type of rice.
Yes.
Hence, it's still a little bit loose. However, I can assure you, if you can keep this longer in the chiller, maybe overnight, it will set very well.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
Alright. So let's go ahead and put some
Kuah Lodeh.
Some Kuah Lodeh.
Okay.
Alright. Can you see? Does it look good?
Wow. Okay, then we put dressing on top.
1 egg. I always love my lontong with green chili because I like the green chili taste.
Yes.
And just a little bit of down kunyit to complement the kunyit. We actually use raw kunyit in the paste. And then let's try it.
Okay.
You want to start with the soup first?
We should use spoon. Alright, so I'm going to try this. Not test. I'm going to test this. Did you see that? My expressions? It was very delicious, Chef.
Really?
Totally.
I just simply cook this.
Just a simple cook.
Cincai, cincai.
But the taste is 5 stars.
5 star.
Yes, I give you 5 stars.
Awesome, right? And how does the first ever red rice lontong that you have tasted, how is it compared to the normal nasi impit that you cook from some little plastic?
Yeah. Usually, if we try white rice or nasi impit, the taste is plain. But compared to red rice, the taste is very nutty flavor is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it tastes more healthy.
Yeah, of course.
So I mean, I can imagine if you're eating this for sahur, you can last feeling full for a whole day.
Yes, definitely. Because our red rice full with fiber.
I've never tried. Maybe I should start also, like fasting.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now Chef are going to show us the second recipe today. And what is our next recipe, Chef?
So now the next recipe will be a type of steamed cake, or we call it Huat Kueh in Chinese, in Hokkien. It is a traditional Chinese steamed cake made with rice, but especially for festive season like Chinese New Year. And literally, the meaning of Huat Kueh in Hokkien is actually means prosperity, cakes in Chinese. Yeah, I will show you later that the cake will bloom beautifully and split into sections on the top after steaming. For many Chinese, they believe that this signifies good luck and prosperity to the family.
Alright, Chef, so I can't wait to get prosper from you. So can we start now?
Of course, Fauzan.
Right, so what is the ingredient that we have?
This recipe will require a pre-fermentation process, meaning we're going to add yeast onto the flour. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to add in is 350 gram of coconut water. I actually cook with Pandan. Alright, I'm going to pour into the bowl. Alright. And then I'm going to add in the sugar. Okay. The sugar is about 70 grams.
Yeah. White sugar, okay?
Yeah, just white sugar. Yeah. Then what you want to do is you want to stir it until the sugar sort of melted.
Right.
Alright, and then we're going to add in the yeast. So yeast loves sugar, right? And we want to sort of fasten the activation of the yeast. That's why we stir it with the sugar.
So why you need red yeast powder?
The red yeast powder is to replace coloring. But red yeast powder is also made with rice actually, but it is a type of it's a different type of mold that they ferment the rice with this type of mold and become red. So because we want to stay natural, that's why we use natural ingredients. Okay. So as you see now, the sugar is already diluted, right?
Yes.
Then I add in 75 gram of red yeast, so Primera rice powder. Just stir it. And earlier on you asked me what is the red yeast for, right? It's actually, you can see just a little bit. And it actually creates that wonderful
color,
red color, Do you see that?
Yeah.
Do you see the instant red? Okay. Alright.
Want to see it?
Can you see it? Okay.
Bright of the color.
Now, again, I have the best machine, right? So I'm just gonna ferment this or proof this in the machine.
Okay.
Alright, for 30 minutes.
Okay. 30 minutes.
Oh, can you pass me the cover?
Sure. Right.
And we'll let it proof for 30 minutes. Okay?
Okay. Right, chef. So if people don't have this machine, so how can we use to ferment it?
If they don't have this, they can always just put into a container. Then that's it. Then just replace this as a container.
Oh, alright.
Yeah. Okay, it has been 30 minutes and we want to see what happened to our dough.
Let's see it.
You can actually see that there's actually a lot of bubbles.
I want to see this texture. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you can see this texture, how the blossoms of the bubbles, right? So it's very, very fluffy. Nice texture and very fluffy also. You can see it.
So Fauzan, this is ready to steam because it has got the yeast and it sort of breaks down the sugar from the rice and we will be expecting a very fluffy sort of kueh. So next what I want to do is I want to add a bit of salt.
Himalayan salt. A
little bit of santan.
Coconut milk. And then?
Coconut milk. And some leavening agent. I use baking powder and bicarbonate soda.
Right.
Okay. So before that, I just want to just mix it up first.
Right. So we're mixing it up.
We're mixing it up, and then we add in the leavening agent. Okay. Look at that, it's so ready to go.
Look at that sound.
Yeah, you hear the sound. It's the rice, and just imagine the rice is being consumed by the yeast.
Yes.
Okay. So next, what I want to do is I want to transfer this into
a jar.
And then we will
put it in this cup.
Yes.
Okay.
And we'll put it into the cup and we'll steam it. Look at the bubble, right?
Right, later I want to try this.
Yes, of course. You can bring back.
Definitely.
Also, because Primera is Mera is red, right? So we use a red cup as well, and that's why we designed this to be celebrated as part of the Chinese community. Kueh, because apparently Chinese people love red. I mean, not true, I don't like red. I like Primera red, but not red in general. Okay, so let's steam this.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now we are steaming our Huat Kueh for 20 minutes, right?
Yep.
So, very easy to make this kueh, right? Huat Kueh, yeah, it's very easy and everyone can make it at home. So, who want to be Chef Ryan's apprentice? So, cepat-cepat send your application. Alright, so talking about sending in applications, Scarlet Rust Month 2021 has a few campaigns and competition that all Malaysians can join for free. So don't forget to scan the QR code below here and use the short link below to check it out. So lots of prizes waiting for you. Alright, Chef. So we're waiting for our Huat Kueh to be done.
Yes.
Alright,
And yeah, as you can see that it starts to start to
Kembang.
rise, and then to a point that it will actually break on top.
Cute. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, our Huat Kueh is done. So let me check it out.
Alright, so already 20 minutes,
Yes,
right?
already 20 minutes, Chef.
Alright,
So
I will uncover it. Look at it.
wow, look at that. It's so fluffy.
Yeah, it actually opens up. Yeah. Yeah,
want to taste it.
you can smell the nutty flavor from
The aroma itself.
the aroma itself. Yeah.
Because of the pandan leaf, right? Okay.
So this is
Alright, so this is how it's look like.
so. Fauzan, do you know that for Chinese people, red represents fire, and also it means happiness, beauty, vitality, good luck,
I
success,
see.
and good fortune.
That's why Primera rice is red.
Yes.
It's not green or blue or anything. Alright, so much meaning in this dish actually. So beside giving you prosperity when eating Huat Kueh, this version of Huat Kueh also give you health.
That's
and
right.
of course, many things and benefits with this kueh. Alright, Chef, you really make me excited for these delicious kueh, kan? So, by using Primera red rice, definitely I heard you say that you are going to teach us on how to make idli for our next recipe, right? So I love idli so much. I can
Have breakfast every day.
yes, I have breakfast with idli very much with my friends or my family. And then in fact, I just had idli for breakfast and lunch also.
Okay.
Yesterday I had idli, of course. And then I just love it. Like, we can start it now.
Okay.
Okay.
So yes, I think idli is one of the most healthiest breakfasts. In fact, it is a type of savory rice cake originating from the Indian subcontinent, popular as breakfast food in southern India and Sri Lanka, as well as in Malaysia. It has pretty much been assimilated into our Malaysian diet as well. Yeah.
Wow, so many variations of idli, Chef. So usually all the idli that I had are white in color, usually lah. So will the idli made from Primera red rice become red color idli?
Of course, that's the whole idea of calling it red idli because of the red pigment from the rice, from the Primera rice.
That sounds cool. So it seems like we are going to create a new variation of it, right?
Yes, and yeah, we'll call it Primera idli.
So excited. So let me start now? Chef?
Yes.
Alright.
So in order to make idli, we're actually sticking to a very traditional Indian recipe. There is always the Idli Rice.
Idli rice.
There's, of course, we have our Primera rice, we have the Fenugreek, and we have the Urad Dhal, or the
Urad Dhal.
lentils that still has the skin on. And all these, they have been soaked in water for about 4 hours already. 4 hours. 4 hours already. And let's go ahead and do this. So the next thing we're gonna do is blending them, rice and rice, fenugreek and the urad dal. And after we blend them, we will mix them together.
Alright.
Okay, so before we blend them, we want to wash and soak the red rice. After we have soaked it for 3-4 hours, we rinse it until it becomes clean. And then the same thing for the urad dal as well as the fenugreek. Both rinse very dry as well. Then next, we want to blend them into a paste. You can use an immersion blender, or you can actually use any blender you have. If you don't have an immersion blender, just put it in the power blender, and you want it to be really, really fine. So the same thing for the dal, also blended into paste using an immersion blender. And after that, we want to mix both together with salt, add in water, as well as a little bit of yeast. You can put in a warm place. Okay. I always do this at maybe 8 or 9 p.m. Then I want to ferment this overnight. Then you put this into a warm area.
Oh.
So the next morning, you can actually steam it already.
Steam it already.
Yeah. Now, this is what it will look like after we have mixed both rice and the dal paste together. But for a really traditional idli recipe, usually they, like I mentioned earlier, it will be fermented overnight. So I actually have one that I have done yesterday, and you can see that.
Oh, I can see this texture.
The textures, and it has become higher. The dough, or we call it the batter.
Because you ferment it overnight, right?
Because we ferment it overnight,
Yes.
yeah. And it will have a slight sour taste, which is very normal for any rice-based batter. It can be used for idli. I personally, if I want to make into dosa or tosai, I just add in more water, and I use it and I put it on the griddle and become like a pancake.
A pancake,
Yeah.
right.
So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna turn on the steamer.
Okay.
Okay. Gonna turn on the steamer, and you can see the inside. It smells wonderful.
How's it smell? Oh, it smells nutty.
Nutty,
And then very...
and the fenugreek,
Yes,
and the dal. It's wonderful, right? So are we ready to? It actually smells like idli, right?
Yeah, see.
Kan, it has that sour taste already. Yeah. So now what I want to do now is I want to brush. Okay, usually many traditional idli recipe they will use an idli tray. It actually is a steamer on its own, but I cannot actually find it from the Little India. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a nice ramekin like that. I brush it with a little bit of ghee. Again, I love ghee. It's better than margarine actually. So just
It's better G and it's better G from margarine.
I don't want
If you put margarine?
I don't want to make any comment on margarine, but I love ghee
You love ghee.
and
right?
butter and animal fat.
Yes. It's a natural animal fat.
Yeah. Let's not make any comment. Yeah, we are not. Yeah. All right. So what I want to do now is that the batter for the ghee, it has to be somewhat runny, a bit of chai before we steam it. So let's see. Do you see that? It's still the bubble that it
Yeah,
is
I can see the
caused,
bubble. Yeah.
So I think this is good enough.
And then we're gonna pour it.
Yes, I want to pour it. But I actually want it to be a little bit more thinner. That's why I add in just a bit of water to make it more easy to pour. I'm gonna stir it a bit. And then let's fill this just a tiny bit, because we want our idli to be thin and fluffy. We don't want it to be thick. I know there are thicker versions, but I personally like it thin. Or if you make it thick, it will be like kueh serabi.
Yeah.
You know what kueh serabi is? Also a type of idli, right? So let's fill it onto the ramekin.
It's not too thick but not too watery, right?
Yes. About 1.5 tablespoons is good. Oops. So we're gonna steam this into the steamer.
Right, so you're gonna put our idli side the steamer. Right.
You see, even our steamer is being.
Yeah.
We want to resonate with the product, the color of the product, which is red.
Okay. So we're going to steam it for 50 minutes, right?
10 to 15 minutes.
Oh, 10 to 15
depending
minutes.
on the power of your steamer.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Colored Rice Month 2021 has a few campaigns and competitions that all Malaysians can join for free, definitely. And the campaign and competitions are held and lot, Colored Rice Recipe Showdown, and Simple Health Ideas. So join all the campaigns, competitions and quizzes to eligible for the Best Participant Award. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's see inside how it's work, okay?
So you can see the idli has sort of puffed up as well. And let's try it.
Let's
Okay.
go. I already have my plate.
Okay. But before that, I would like to have just a bit more ghee
To
onto
put
the
on top.
yeah.
Alright.
And I can actually feel that it's very, very soft inside. Alright. So let's unmold this. I usually don't wait for the idli to be completely cooled down because the smell of the idli is very inviting.
Easily try to tempt.
Yeah, it's so tempting, and you can actually look at how fluffy it is. You look at the shape, right? It looks like a UFO, right? It looks like that.
Chef.
This is oops. Yeah, you can see it doesn't break.
Yeah.
This is a success because I'm not boasting or whatever. Usually people fail their idli because their idli become like lempeng, but ours is like, can you see that? So Fauzan, are you ready to try this?
Definitely, chef.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
Usually we serve idli with some condiments. We have some coconut chutney, some sambal, and also the dhal, the dhal curry. Okay, let's cut this open. Can you see how fluffy it is?
It's very good. Look at its texture.
Look at the texture, and you know that it's really, really soft, and with that ghee in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna cut this. All right, help yourself.
Okay. Just gonna pick one. So
You try
usually
with
mix it. God. This is much better than what I had for my breakfast this morning. It's very good.
Yeah?
Yeah, no complaint.
No complaint.
No complaint.
Compliment ada?
Yes, sedap.
Okay. Thank you.
Try it.